Look, man, I'm tired of hearing people. First of all, this is how I'm gonna start. I'm tired of hearing people saying Eminem ain't saying shit in his rhymes. He's trying to save hip hop. If you go back and you listen to Kamikaze, actually listen and actually pay attention and actually try to understand what the fuck he's talking about, he's trying to save hip hop. He's trying to save the culture he loves. That was the main purpose of Kamikaze. Y'all talking about he's trying to make himself relevant again. Blah, blah, blah. The, how many mumble rappers did he diss? He went at mumble rappers countless times throughout that whole fucking album. Because mumble rappers are what's killing this game. But y'all talking about he ain't got no content, he ain't got no substance, he ain't saying nothing. What is he supposed to say? The topic at hand this day and age for people like Eminem and people like that, people who actually love the culture, is that hip hop is dying. And why is it dying? Because there's a fucking cancer in the body of it. And the cancer in the body of it is mumble rappers and auto-tune and all that bullshit. And Eminem knows that because it didn't got away from just spitting. It's all about how hot the beat is and how whatever the auto-tune is, and just how good it sounds in general. It's all about the tone. It's all about how it sounds. It's gotten away from lyrics. Lyrics don't fucking matter anymore. And it's bullshit because it's not supposed to be like that. So I just had to hit on that real quick. And then you got Diddy's on responding. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Diddy's gonna respond. Okay, if Diddy responds on a track, that shit would be funny, first of all. That shit would be fucking hilarious. It might not even bother. It might send somebody else after him. Because, first of all, how can you take Diddy seriously on this record or anything when you know he has ghostwriters? That's another point that M touches on. The ghostwriting thing is bullshit. It's not earned. You have the money to pay a ghostwriter, and you just pay them, and then you spit their shit. That's not earned. It's bullshit. How can you have a respect for a writer that you know ain't writing? How can you have respect for an MC that's using lyrics that ain't even his? But y'all riding around bumping this shit and then clowning on him. And then saying, my bad. And then saying, oh, M ain't saying shit. M ain't got no substance. M this, M that. The guy who busts his ass day and night and all he fucking cares about is hip hop. The guy who's 45 years old and he's still giving it everything he has. Been doing it for 20 years. Still giving it everything he has. You think it's about the money? You think it's about the money? Really? Use your brain. It's obviously not about the money anymore. It's obviously not about making himself relevant anymore. And I came to the conclusion his purpose right now is to fix shit. And you know how he's gonna fix shit? He's going after Diddy because he thinks he holds Diddy accountable for where the game is right now. Because, like I said earlier, if it was not for Pac and Biggie getting taken out, this shit would have never escalated to this point. Because, like I said, you still have 4 monsters, 4 vets in the game that would have never allowed this shit to happen. M's trying, but it's gonna be mighty fucking hard for him to do this shit by himself. If you had Pac and Biggie, they'd be lashing out at the mumble rappers. If you had him, he'd be lashing out at the mumble rappers. And then, on top of that, Dre produced them motherfuckers. That's the point. Him is going after Diddy because he holds Diddy responsible. He feels, and I find it hard not to agree with him, because I feel like he actually knows some shit. He feels Diddy played a big factor in Pac and Big's death. He didn't say Big, but I feel like he played a factor in Big's death. 50 said it. I mean, this has been going on for a while. these accusations have been going on for a while. There's got to be something there. This has been a unsolved case for damn near 20 years. Over 20 years. Since when does it take that long for the feds to solve a case? How many murders have you known to go unsolved? It's very few. Look it up. Very few motherfuckers get away with murder. But now suddenly when Pac gets killed, the motherfucker that was going at the government and the motherfucker that was going at the police and everything else, when he was making a big name for himself, when he was blowing up, they got scared. He was about to expose him. They had to take him out. They had to. They didn't have a choice. Because he was about to ruin everything for them. That's what he was working on. He had a plan to end gang wars. And gang violence. Think the government wants that? That's less people in prison. That's less funds for prison. That's less everything. That's less funds for burials. That's less funds. All that shit. You think they want that? Fuck no, they don't want that. They want the guns around. They want the gang violence. They want the gang violence around. Sorry. They want that shit. That keeps their shit up. That helps with funding for the government, which is all they fucking care about. If you haven't figured that out to this point. And my bad. Okay. And they're not gonna allow it to get taken away that easy. That was the point. Pac was doing it with ease. He was doing the shit with ease. Yeah, he spent a little jail time, blah, 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 but he was getting to the people. And they seen it. All he had to do was get to the people. He got the people's approval, and he got the people's approval quick. Like, it didn't take no time. And so they knew at that point, if this motherfucker keeps going at this rate, we're fucked. We're fucked. So, it was an inside job. And I think Diddy sold himself out to be where he's at now, to have something to do with Pac getting killed, as well as Biggie. Say what you want. I think Jimmy Henchman had something to do with it. I think Diddy had something to do with it. And I think motherfucking Suge Knight had something to do with it. Say what you want. Read in between the motherfucking lines. That shit don't make no sense. Suge was sitting right next to Pac in the motherfucking car. He was bound to see something, but he's saying he ain't see shit. He's saying he ain't see a motherfucker. He ain't see nothing. I guess he closed his eyes. Gunshot started firing, he closed his motherfucking eyes, huh? Okay. Well, and then you got Diddy. Diddy set motherfucking Tupac up the first time when he was coming out the studio and he got shot up on the elevator. That's why it didn't make no sense to Pac. He thought Biggie had done it. It had to be somebody on the inside. It had to be somebody on the inside. And that's why Pac blamed Biggie. Nah. He was looking at the wrong motherfucker, and if he had looked at the right motherfucker, he might be still alive today because he would have figured the shit out. He was looking at Biggie because it appeared to be Biggie, but really it was the motherfucker behind Biggie. And Biggie didn't even know it. They did everything they had to do to turn Pac and Biggie against each other. That way they're separated. And they took them out because they knew it would be a whole hell of a lot harder to take them out together. And the motherfucking feds or the government or the cops or some shit was in on it. It had to be. Because the murder doesn't get covered up this easy for this fucking long. They killed that motherfucker right in the middle of Vegas. Right in the middle of motherfucking Vegas, and ain't nobody see shit. Ain't nobody see nothing. This shit's been going on for 20 years. Not a soul seen a motherfucking thing. Not even Suge. Come on, man. Y'all put this shit together. It's really not that easy, not that hard to come to a conclusion that there's still people alive that are benefiting from this shit. Diddy is still benefiting from this shit. Look where Diddy's at right now. I don't think he would be there if Pac didn't get taken out. And I don't think Suge would be there where he's at if Pac didn't get taken out. They both benefited from this shit, as did Jimmy Henchman. They all benefited from this shit, and they all knew they needed Pac and Biggie out the way. Diddy could gain from Biggie's music because Biggie was under him, but that's about it. He wasn't actually gonna blow because it was all about Biggie. And then Pac, the same shit. Suge would blow, or Suge would get money. Suge would make money off of Pac, but he would never actually get the credit because everybody loved Pac. Pac was too fucking big, and he was already known. Like, he was already pretty well known before Suge, so he ain't getting no credit. He's not making as much. He's not profiting as much. So he got what he could out of Pac, and then he killed him off. On top of that, Pac probably didn't go along with Suge's plan. He ain't like that shit. Pac probably won't sit in there being his little yes man. And he ain't like that shit. And I'm honestly, because Dre did the same shit. Dre wasn't a yes man to Suge, and I'm surprised Dre ain't get taken out. But he didn't get taken out because he got the fuck out of Dodge. See, Pac was easy for Suge to take out because he was still chilling with it. He's still, in a sense, trusting it. He didn't agree with everything he did, but he's still trusting it. You can think what you want, but it's gonna come out. Mark my words. And if you watch it to this point, you're gonna remember this shit. Mark my words. Diddy, Suge, and Jimmy Henchman were all working together with no strings attached after the fact. They all needed Biggie and Pac out the picture. They all needed it. All three of them. Do the research. All three of them needed that shit. They all needed it. Every single one of them. Have you ever heard Biggie or Diddy come out and say anything in correlation to Pac's death? You ever heard him say anything about any, like, sorrows or anything? Suge has. But it wasn't sincere, and you could see it. Look at Suge's interviews and Suge talking about Pac getting killed and how he has sorrows and this, that, and that. This shit's not sincere, man. The Suge is cold, man. He don't give a fuck. If his ass still alive and still making money, that's all he cared about. But now his ass locked up, and I guarantee you, he's sitting there having second thoughts. It's gonna come out. And when it comes out, Diddy's gonna fall. Suge already fell, and Jimmy Henchman's ass gonna drop. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of fucking time, and it's already been 20 years. Maybe it needs to be 20 more, but I don't think it's gonna be that. I think this will be in the next year or two, because like I said in a previous video, I think M has some information, and I think he's looking for the right time, the right moment to bring Diddy's ass down with it. And it's all, you can call it a snitch if you want, but it's all for the love of hip-hop, and it's all for the love of Pac. And that's what Eminem's about. Him has discussed Pac several. Eminem loved Pac. Pac was one of his idols. He was one of his heroes. He kind of molded himself after Pac. So we talking M's love of the culture, M's love of hip hop, and M's love of Pac, as well as Biggie, because he also molded himself after Biggie in a sense. M knows some shit. And he's coming for Diddy. I'm telling you, this shit has all been set up. He wants Diddy to respond, and that's what he's waiting on. Shit, at this point, being Diddy done ran his mouth a button, I wouldn't be surprised if him don't wait. Would not be surprised. Would not be surprised if M just goes ahead and fucking goes off on him, snaps on him. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. This shit's about to get crazy, y'all. I'm serious. I'm talking, like I said, the level of Pac and Big. Like, if not more serious. I'm not gonna sit here and say there's gonna be bodies dropping and all that like Pac and Big. But I do think it's gonna come fucking close and it's gonna get serious as shit. It's just a matter of time, and it's not that far away. It's not that far away. I say 2, maybe 3 months tops. Honestly, I think it's gonna be sooner than that. Cause M ain't gonna back down. Not at this point. He said that Pac line for a reason, and he's anticipating Diddy responding. It's about to blow. Y'all be ready.